Hi, y'all. Welcome back to Barber Builders Training Academy, the winning method. We got Mr. Sam here today. He's going to help us out, instruct you in how to do a low burst fade. So let's get it started. First thing you want to do, you got long hair like this, you want to take and you want just enough water to get control of it until you can pin the top out the way. So you can focus on the burst fade that's on the side here. I'm going to take my clamps and I'm going to pin his hair out the way. I really don't have to pin the back because we're not cutting here. Just the top so you get to the line up. First thing you want to do is you want to go in and you want to create your guideline. You want a low burst, so we're going to leave this hair here. Then we're going to come in here, keeping that low. And we're going to come over the ear. We want to arch here. That's an arch. Need an arch here. Keep the side up. We're going to go over, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. You want to measure, you want to look at how far you went behind the ear. It's barely a finger behind that ear. So you want to do the same thing on the next side. Get that arch. Got the arch, come up and check it again. It's about finger pinky width wide. Yeah. Maybe a little bit wide over here. Yeah. All right, guys. Gotta interrupt real quick to tell you about my book called The Winning Method, 10 Keys to Winning at Barbering. You can get this book on Amazon or you can get it on my personal website at jasonlwest.com. You can get the book in audiobook, ebook, or paperback. Let's get back to the video. Now, what we want to do is we want to take our three. But before I do anything else, I like to, when I bald out, I like to get all the baldness done. Get all the baldness done. Any baldness that needs to be done, I want it completely clean. I want it completely clean. The next step I want to do, you want to take your clippers and you want to take a number 3. Because he has extra long hair because his style is different. We want to come in here, we want to cut some of this hair off. Right behind the ear. You want to come up off the head, leaving space here. You're working on the heel. Coming in, you're coming out. Leave that space in there. Want to take on the side? I'll let you both for free. All right. Now, you want to come in with your clipper. We're going to start with the blade open. And we're going to go in and we're going to create a panel that follows the original bald guideline. We're going to create a panel. It's going to be another curve that follows the original guideline. As you can see here, Just a little bit behind the ear. Again, here, behind, a little bit behind the ear. A little closer, you see the shape. There. Shape. Make sure you see that same shape up here. Here. Now, we want to change our adjustment, put it on halfway, and we're going to go halfway up. What we're doing now is we're breaking that panel down and fading it out. All right. So get it there. We're going to go on this side. We're going like halfway up. And you're halfway, 3/4 up. I'm sorry, we're going 3/4 way up. You got it on halfway. All right. Now, once we did that to both sides, we're going to make an adjustment on the clipper. We're going to put it about 1/4 way to close. And we're going to go up halfway. We're going halfway down, and then we're going to repeat the same thing on the other side. One of the keys to cutting faster is don't do any unnecessary strokes. You do 3 to 5 strokes mainly, and keep it moving. Lastly, for this first panel, we're going to close this lever all the way. And what we're doing here is twisting my brush. We're going to attack this bottom line. And then once we attack this bottom line, that will be the completion of. Now with this close like this, we're going to attack the bottom line and we're going to go up like 1/4 of the way up. And we're going to go halfway up like we did previously, the previous adjustment. All right. Okay, now what we do, we're going to move on to the second panel. So we brought it out, the first panel in and faded it out. Now we're going to move on to the second panel, right at a finger's width. We're going to use the number 1, and we open the lever all the way up. Okay. We're going to make our panel just a little bit less than an inch, a little bit smaller than the previous one. We want to compress it a little bit more to the top. We're looking for that same arch that we had. We're going to come here. We're going to do the same thing. You check, see the sides are similar. You check, see if your sides are similar. So you got that same look on both sides. I'm looking at the back right here. The back here. Looks like over here, about a finger back. I got a little bit cleaner, and I still thick right here. So I'm gonna come over here and cut some of this. Okay. Now we want to take this off. We want to close the lever all the way. And we want to start fading this panel out. You see that we have the dark weight line here. We're going to attack it, following the same guideline, which is the curve, arch. We turn our clipper so we can keep that same curve guideline. And so when we cut her, with the part of winning method is how we cut her. The systems, using systems to cut her. And this system here is called the ultimate fading system. Very specific way, steps. Steps are very specific. The measurements or the adjustments on the clipper are very specific. And it's called the ultimate fading system. You can see the things coming together. Now, we put the second panel in with the clipper open. We closed the lever and we started fading it down and breaking it out. I'm fading it out. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take the half guard, and we're not going to leave it open because it's almost the same length as the one closed. So we're going to start with it on halfway the lever. And what we're doing, we're still breaking down that second panel that we put in the one open. We're fading it down and bringing it into the first panel. All right, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we're going to move it to a quarter, and we're going to tap any weight line, any darkness, any weight that falls between that first panel and that second panel. This is like one of the final steps to merging those two panels together. All right. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Once we've done that, we're going to close the lever all the way up. And we're going to look right at the line between the first panel and the second panel, which is the blade open and the 1.5. The one closed. And we're just going to tap on these bases. Some gray people's hair require more work than others. This one seems to be fading on out. What I mean by more work than others, this is the last step of the first two panels, and some people require you to go in with a full blade almost and really dig in. This particular model allows you to get through tapping because it was blending so well. Okay. Now, as you can see, we've got the first two panels done, and you see all the fade coming together. All right, we want to go to a third panel. We're going to take the number 2. We're going to put that on, and we're going to lighten this area up. Okay, this would normally be our third panel on our ultimate fading system. And remember, we debulked that with a 3, so we're running this 2 closed right into that 3, and we're coming out. We don't want to create a new line, and we don't want to go too high because we got this where we want it in here. So we're going to do that same thing on this side. Now, our next step is to take our 1.5. We're going to put it on halfway, because if we put it on open, it's almost the same as the 2 closed. So we're going to make a little adjustment. We're going to start with it on 1.5 on halfway. Your half guard and your 1.5 guard will be considered your blending guards. And most of the time in the ultimate fading system, we're going to use our half guard and our 1.5. We're going to start with them on half. The lever on half. Okay. So I'm just going into that 2. And whatever you do on one side, you want to do on the other. Now what I want to do is close that lever. Now that's the steps for the ultimate fading system. And the last step for that is you take your one and you open the lever, and you want to go back in where the third panel and the second panel meet. That line right there, because when you got the 1.5 closed and the one open from the second panel, they kind of leave a slight line sometimes. So then you want to go in and you just want to kind of come up and out, anywhere you see there might be a line or a weight line between those two. So now that that's done, the last thing left to do as far as fading is you do what we call detail work. And what I got a system for detail work as well. I say use everything open half closed on a need only basis. That's the system. However, there may be a time or two where you need to go to quarter as opposed to close, or go half and quarter, whatever measurements you need to do with this on detail work counts. But if you ever trying to ask yourself, what do I need to do? Just start out doing open half closed on a need only basis on everything. So let's do that. So we're going to put this on halfway. We're going to come in with our corners. All right. This side. All right. We're going to close it. All right. Close this. And I'm looking, I don't need the one anymore. Everything I've done, all I can do is that one. And I'm looking for weight lines. I'm gonna take my blade open and use my corner so I can only risk putting a new line in too hard. The corners allow you to take less weight out at one time. So it reduces your risk of putting a whole new line. I opened it up, just going in, looking for any lights on the dark spots that I can lighten up and knock weight out of. Close the sun, a quarter. Right. I think I'm pretty satisfied with this blend, but one thing, let me give you one tip that you'll probably get in the tip section. But one tip is you line them up and then look back at detail, go back at your detail work again after you line them up, because a lot of times you can see stuff after the lineup that you just couldn't see before you lined them up. All right. So now we got the fading part done for the burst fade. We want to work on this area here. He previously had a cut that had him taper, but see, he's going to a burst fade and he's eliminating the taper. So what we're going to do, we're going to come around here. First thing we're going to do, we're going to make us transition here. See how long that hair is? We're going to cut some of that hair so we can have a smoother transition. That's this clip over corner. that. Bring that together. Here. We're gonna make a transition. Right there. See how the transition is smoother? Alright. Go back in. Alright. Now, being that he had a taper in the back, we're going to change that. We don't have much hair to work with because he recently had a taper, but we're still going to set it up for like a regular burst. Clean this up. Come back here. We're gonna make this line. We're gonna take it. We're gonna round it off. Here. I noticed that this needs to be debulked just a little bit more in this area. I'll come back in with my clipper will come. And I'm bringing that in. So you always want to get it real clean so you cut up top. Whatever I don't get with the shaver, I can always get with the razor. Okay. Now, got the sideburns here. Make sure they blend in. Up a bit. I'm getting these overhangs right here. Okay. And you can either wait till you trim this, or you can line them up. Sometimes I like to line them up before I do the top, because the hair will be dry. If you start spraying water all over here, then this part of your hair gets wet, and then it trims on one where it's crispy. So it's just up to you. You can line them up first, and then you can cut the hair first on top, and then let it dry or dry it or whatever. Then go get the trimmers. But I'm pretty much gonna do it. Line it up again. Right now I'm gonna line it up after I do shear cut anyway. I'm just like to go ahead and put the line in while it's dry first. But I'm still gonna go back and perfect the line. Right now the line is back. This line is naturally back further on the side. Once I trim the overhangs, you can see the line grows back a little further on this side. So we want to work with that and see what we got. Turn the trimmer on its side to get long overhang as I create the shape of the curve. And now I can lay it close to flat with a little tip. And that gives you a little bit sharper line. Okay. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm looking to try to make that line a little more level the other side. So yeah, this side definitely goes out a little more. So you want to get in front. You want to get in front of your. You want to get in front of your client when you're looking up the line. You want to get in front of your client. This is what you don't want to do. You don't want to lean like this because this can give you a false reading. In order to get a good reading, you step in front of your client. You make sure his head is straight, and then you step back off of him. And even sometimes you have to get bend your knees and get eye level. You come in, you make the necessary adjustments. Go back and look again. Now some people's line is just a little too far off on one side, so you don't want to take it back too far. It's okay for them. You should be a lean just a little bit. Alrighty. Now what we want to do, we want to go ahead and do the little trim with the shears before we come back and perfect the edge up finally. And always, when you do a cut, always blend the sideburns into your fade, even if they say they're keeping the sideburns or their beard. I always blend that in right there. Even if they don't want no beard work, you blend that in, and then right at the tip of it, you get a little line up right at the tip, even though they're not getting a beard. So, see that? Now, I'll give him a little moisture here. He doesn't really want much off, so he's going to do a slight trim on his hair. Give a little water for control. So we're just going to start out just taking a little bit off the top. See there, it's already uneven. We're going to cut that. Go through here. Just kind of give them a little trim. Good. Put it there. All right. Come here. Even that out. There we go. And to the side here. And here. All right, so we got him all cut up. Now we want to make sure that we got him dry here for the razor line. Back to it. For his razor line, we're going to use spritz. We're going to use spritz for his razor line. Oh, yeah. As you can see here, he got a little razor burn from his previous haircut. basically, that's really about the end of the haircut. You can go ahead and see if you got any flyaways. This corner right here. Take that corner out. Check this side. Make sure it ain't got no corners. All right, y'all. Here we go. Finished product. No burst. Spray some on that one on this side. Come close. Okay, that's the name. If you look at stuff from a certain angle, you can see right here that I need my trimmer. That's that bald line on the shaver. Sometimes hair turn different directions, so I'm gonna do both directions of this hair here to make sure that it's going against the grain for extra close cut. There we go. Boom. Guys, that's your low burst fade. It's the winning method. See you on the next one.